Good evening, teachers and educationists. A very warm welcome to you all. And we are extremely happy that on a Monday evening, after a hectic day at work for many of you, you have taken out time to join this webinar organized by Teachers of Tomorrow, Cambridge University Press and Assessment. With a legacy of hundreds of years and a presence in 170 plus countries, our endeavor has constantly been the pursuit of excellence, and we wanted to create a platform, a forum for teachers to come together, to collaborate, to learn from each other. And that is why we created this platform called Teachers of Tomorrow. I would request all of you to take your time out and have a look at the platform where you'll find so much to learn from each other and also to learn from eminent educationists for which we have these weekly webinars. And we are extremely elated to have with us Arwa Baldiwala, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out time from your busy schedule for joining us and helming this webinar. As a head of school, her strategic vision is a coagulation of academic excellence and holistic development of the learners. She is a beacon of light, guiding professional development for the academic fraternity. She takes up a very critical topic today: next generation in an AI-first world. So thank you so much, ma'am. The floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. It's completely going to be a pleasure for me to take this webinar ahead. So, thank you for the warm introduction. I'm completely honored to be as part of the Teachers of Tomorrow initiative. Why did I choose this topic, next gen in an AI first world? Because of this video that was shared with me by my ex-student. It was a foreword and I remember watching it. It completely captivated me, and what was amazing is what you're going to see today, because there is so much of relevance to this video connected to today's webinar. But before I play this video, it's important for everyone to understand today's webinar topic. Next gen in the topic refers to the generation Alpha and Gen Zs, and AI first world refers to the emerging generation growing up in a world where artificial intelligence plays a central role in shaping not only industries but our lifestyles and our society. I'm starting the video.
Your son is a failure. He's barely passing my class, and with grades like this, I'm just not sure what kind of future he's gonna have. What do you have to say for yourself? You're supposed to graduate this year. Listen to Mr. Johnson. What kind of future do you think you're gonna have? With all due respect, don't call me a failure. Failure is an event, not a person, in fact. And you talk about the future, Mr. Johnson, but you're not preparing us for that.
Excuse me?
Just listen to what I'm saying.
This should be good.
Would you agree that in the future, most careers will become automated?
Yeah, so?
So the people who succeed will have to be curious, innovative, with resilience to adapt to new changes.
What's your point?
My point is, the focus in this school is not on that. It is on regurgitating information and test taking, and that's just real. But in today's world, creativity is the most important leadership skill.
Oh, that's how you feel.
You don't have to believe me, but maybe you will believe the 1,500 executives who recently said creativity is the most important leadership skill. See, pretty soon, no one will be hired because of what they know. Because who cares what you know or if you've memorized a fact? We've got Google and Siri for that. In the future, people will be hired because of what they can do with their knowledge. Can they creatively solve real-world problems, not just follow instructions or directions and bubbly and multiple choice questions? So, Mom, that's why I'm stressed, because these robotic tasks we learn in school should stop. Because no one can do a robot's job better than a robot. Billionaire founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma, said that we should not compete with artificial intelligence, but instead focus on developing unique human intelligence. Mr. Johnson, drills are for teeth, not the human mind. So these repetitive knowledge-based tasks we must leave behind. Or in the future, you're going to find a lot of people graduating out of your class right into the unemployment line. See, many top companies.
I'm going to stop this video at this point because of lack of time. But I'm going to share the link of this YouTube video and I'm going to share it with Priyanka. Trust me, it's a brilliant one. And I really encourage all of you to see it. It's a 6-minute long video. But whatever that you heard and saw, I think the message is very clear. And I share this story with you, my fellow educators, because it's a reminder of what our students need today. They need more than facts. They need skills. They need support to work around the future we cannot fully predict. Today's webinar covers 4 very important key areas essential for preparing our students for an AI-driven world. 1, I'm going to cover up critical skills students need to thrive alongside rapidly evolving AI technologies. 2, how students and schools can incorporate AI learning within the constraints of curriculum completion and board exam preparations. 3, whether our students and we as educators are mentally prepared for the demands and the challenges of an AI-first environment. And 4, finally, we are going to examine ways to help our students develop 2 most important words, resilience and adaptability, in a world that changes faster than ever before. Well, I'm sure you will agree after seeing that video that Mr. Johnson has a lot of thinking to do. How do you and me, we prepare for a world where machines will carry out many of the tasks that humans have traditionally had a monopoly on? And what are those skills which we need to ensure we remain relevant and able to create value? Look at the slide. Take a screenshot if need be. These are the skills forecasted to be essential between 2025 and 2030. Organizations such as Google, the World Economic Forum, and the Wall Street Journal have made predictions about skills that will be crucial in the near future. You will notice that alongside technical skills like AI literacy, there's a substantial emphasis on human-centric skills such as creativity, adaptability, emotional intelligence, empathy, teamwork, and problem solving. For us as educators, these forecasts are a very clear signal to adapt our curriculum and teaching methods to not only include AI competencies, but also to remember that human skills remain invaluable. Take a look at some of these AI tools, and I see students very comfortable with these AI-generated tools. Each of these tools leverages AI to make all their tasks easier, more efficient, and even more creative. From drafting content to editing to refining presentations and rephrasing and even answering complex questions in real time makes it an invaluable resource for you, me, and our students. Take a look at this particular tool, which says 11 Labs. This one allows us to create realistic audio for presentations and training or even language practices. So by integrating these resources effectively, we empower ourselves and future generations to thrive in an AI-first world. Now, I have a question for you. Priyanka, you may need to help me out here. So before we continue, let's take a moment to gauge where everyone stands in terms of AI awareness. Please answer this with just a simple yes or no. The question is, do you think the next generation is prepared for an ever-evolving AI-driven world? Now, this poll gives us insights into our collective comfort level with AI. Knowing where we are as a group helps us tailor the conversation to ensure that it's relevant and informative for everyone. For those who feel less informed about AI, this session, trust me, is a great starting point. And for those who are more comfortable with AI, take this as an opportunity to deepen your understanding. Priyanka, do you have some yes and no's?
Absolutely, ma'am. I think we are tilting more towards yes, There are a couple of no's, yes, but essentially the teachers feel equipped. They think that the students can deal with the next AI generated world.
And I think that's brilliant. That's really brilliant. So this is a platform for us to share our knowledge with each other with AI. Moving on next, I want to talk about Fazlani. I'm head of school Fazlani Academy Global, and there are certain practices which we follow, especially keeping AI in mind. And I want to share how we integrate AI across our different programs. Program like the PYP program, moving on to the middle school program, and then, of course, the secondary and high school program, IGCSE and A levels. Let me give you an example along with it. For example, let's say using tools like BBots or simple coding games help young children understand the basics of sequencing and logical thinking, all while having fun. At this primary level, I've noticed it's not about deep AI knowledge, but it's about building that foundational mindset for problem solving as they are naturally curious. And I'm sure all of you will agree to that. Moving on to the middle school years, students are ready to engage in much more complex activities. For example, let's take a class project where students use AI-based tools to analyze environmental data, or they can work on building something like simple chatbots. Now, these projects not only teach them how AI works, but also develops collaboration and critical thinking skills, which are very vital in AI age. High school level, the goal is to now deepen students' understanding of AI's real-world impact. Example, in a science class, students could use AI to predict climate trends, or in social studies, they could analyze historical data to identify patterns. Now, these real-world applications help them understand how AI shapes the world around them, and they begin to see the connections between technology and society. Moving on next. Now, let's take a moment again to ask ourselves, are our students truly AI ready? Some of them are doing great. They are learning to code, they are engaging with AI in exciting ways. But many, trust me, are not. On one hand, we have students who are creating innovative AI-driven projects. But on the other hand, some are overwhelmed by the pace of technological changes. Some students lack the resilience needed to adapt to these rapid developments. And this is where our role becomes crucial. We must ask ourselves, how are we preparing them for both the opportunities and the challenges of AI? Now, there is fear of self-doubt, fear of the unknown. Many of them, trust me, lack in confidence, and they wonder, would they able to cope? To this, I move on next with, again, I have a question for you. And Priyanka, you again need to help me out here. Are our students mentally strong to handle the uncertainties brought on by AI? Please reply with a yes or a no. This question applies not only to students, but to teachers as well. The fast pace of AI development can be, trust me, very intimidating. And it's very natural to feel uncertain about our future. You know, as educators, it's essential to provide a very supportive environment where both students and teachers can address these feelings very, very openly. What should we do? What do I do? Let me tell you, what do I do? For students, we have mindfulness sessions, like weekly practice to enhance focus and we manage stress. Or you could have AI discussion circles. Trust me, the AI discussion circles work brilliantly. Or also let them be mindful and do a digital detox day. This also is something which they honestly enjoy. And for teachers, you could do AI literacy workshops, emotional resilience training. We could have a peer support circle. We could have creative problem solving exercises. In a staff room, I have seen there are some teachers who are very well versed with tech, and there are some who do always have a doubt and there's a fear, and we partner them up. So this peer-to-peer support works brilliantly also. Moving on next. Sure, I want to say AI has definitely entered our lives and it's there to stay. And while AI is taking on many tasks, there are these few skills which fall under soft skills. They remain irreplaceable. The other day, I was reading an article, Forbes magazine, which recently it was published. That article highlighted how power skills or durable skills are the most critical skills for success in the AI era. The article said, why soft skills? We don't want to call it soft skills. It should be power skills, new age vocational skills, or durable skills. It's a non-negotiable. It's not enough. It's not enough to just be technically skilled. Students need the ability to adapt, to recover, and keep going when faced with setbacks or suddenly thrown in front of the unknown. And AI is going to keep doing that, because the question is, when they come to my office, Miss Arwa, we learned this skill, but what if AI takes over? I see lack of confidence. I see that they're not able to adapt to the changes that are going to occur. It's not in our control, right? So there is this one program which has worked brilliantly at Fazlani, and we call it the Power Skills Program. I'm going to share a few clips on that with you. But before that, let me tell you, at Fazlani, we prioritize power skills. And I'm going to tell you why. We prioritize power skills development actually as an integral part of our educational journey. And here are some images which I'm going to share with you right now, which will capture this entire process, from workshops to guest speakers to different presentations to role plays. Through all these activities, we are helping them build all the skills which you saw in that slide, whereby I asked you to take a picture of that. And those skills are the skills which what everyone wants to see, whether it's Google or the Wall Street Journal. From 2025 to 2030, the skills that we need to ensure that our children have are teamwork, creativity, communication, leadership, skills that are essential in any field, regardless of technological advancements. Trust me, my dear friends, power skills are often overlooked in favor of academic achievements. But we believe that they're just as important. And these images are testament to the progress I have seen in students. And they have come out to be so confident, well-rounded individuals. It's this combination of knowledge and character building that is happening that will prepare them to succeed in an AI-first world. They may be shocked at the new developments, but the inner skill which they have to be able to adapt, to be able to reply back, to be able to be well-informed and confident humans, that's what power skills is going to do. And at Fazlani, going back to Fazlani, we don't stop here. This is a 9-month program. The Power Skills is a 9-month program. And at the end of the program, we do something called a 4-week summer apprenticeship program. Why do we do that? All these skill sets which were taught in the classroom is something which now they go to different corporates, and they are meeting unknown companies, they're meeting unknown people, they need to adapt, there may be situations they don't like, but they know that they need to bounce back, they need to be resilient. And this Flag 1 apprenticeship program, why do we call it Flag 1? 1 stands for observe, network, and experience. And trust me, what you're seeing at the moment is called Flag 1 Showcase. After that 1 year power skill program, at 9 months, 9 months, at the end of the academic year when the exams get over and before they come into grade 12, we send them for this apprenticeship program. But when they come back, they put up this presentation. Class students, school students, from classroom to boardroom, there were situations where they were put into an IT company like iCode, but they came out knowing how to create a drone. They came out how to create different apps. And trust me, there were situations which were very unknown, but they tackled it. I'm going to quickly share a screenshot of how term 1 was planned. Just an idea for you all. Some of the most amazing topics were taken up. Speak like a pro, the art of procrastination, time management, project management, dress to address, dress to impress, language of clothes. These are all a part of the power skills. This is what makes them so confident, so ready to be in front of the unknown. Be in front of the unknown. That's the key word. I am going to move on. Well, time to wrap up. Just summarize a bit. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to summarize the key points we've discussed. The essential skills needed for the future was one. Practical approaches for integrating AI. I shared some examples of what we do at Fazlani. And for sure, the importance of mental health for all of us and for our students. And I have seen power skills is a game changer. Please add on to power skills in your next academic year. Don't waste time. Anyone needs any kind of help, support, I would love to share my experience with them. And Priyanka, you could, sort of share my credentials. I'm absolutely always ready to help out and share what my journey has been. Moving on to this slide, which I just love this slide. Look at, and I ask you to take a screenshot again. I also want to reiterate that these skills that you see are non-negotiables. Integrate them. Please integrate them seamlessly in your classrooms, in your life. Priyanka, do we have a couple of minutes more? Because I just want to quickly explain to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. The digital literacy and AI understanding. You could do everything that's connected to technical literacy here and programming skills. Of course, while everyone does not need to be a coder, but having some familiarity with coding and software development can be very valuable, particularly for those students who are interested in STEM fields. Look at the second non-negotiable. When I say critical thinking and problem solving, analytical skills I'm talking about, and ethical reasoning. When I move on to the third non-negotiable, creativity and innovation, creative thinking and design thinking. When I talk about the fourth so important one, emotional intelligence and interpersonal skills, I'm talking about empathy out here. And communication and a lot of collaboration with each other. When I'm talking about the fifth skill, adaptability and lifelong learning, we're talking about flexibility and continuous learning. And the sixth one, ethical and social awareness. It's all about social responsibility, global awareness. I highlight social responsibility and I use the 3 H's here. Plan with your head, heart, and hand. And the last one, decision-making in AI-augmented environments. Augmented decision-making and risk management is something which you need to ensure that your classrooms are somewhere or the other, somehow they, are planned keeping these in mind. If not all, just take 1 or 2 of the skills and integrate them into your lesson plans. Moving on to the last one. I want to leave you with this question, honestly. Do you think that the next gen and AI can coexist together happily? Shut your eyes and imagine students confidently using AI tools to solve real world problems, like creating an app to track and reduce waste in their community. Or by learning these skills early, they won't face the same learning curve many adults encounter today. Instead, they'll be ready. Let me tell you, they'll be ready to lead and innovate in an AI-augmented world. So before we open to questions, I've sent across a research paper on rethinking curriculum and pedagogy in the age of artificial intelligence by Dr. George, who's an expert in the field of ICT, who has published more than 250 research papers in national and international journals and conferences. And even the first YouTube video of Mr. Johnson and the student and his mom, you've not seen the entire one. See it. maybe use it in one of your staff room meetings. Priyanka, do send the YouTube
I
link.
have shared it, ma'am, with everyone who has joined, both the video and the wonderful article that you're referring to, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And well, we can definitely move on to questions. And at this point, maybe I'll stop my screen share so I could just maybe take, I don't know, 1, 2, how many ever questions. Yeah.
Sure, certainly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think what an eye-opener for all of us sitting here, ma'am, because we think we are apprised with technology, but we do not know the entire ramifications and how best to deal with technology. So I think thank you so much, ma'am, for opening our eyes. And
I want to say something, Priyanka. This presentation itself, okay? I was struggling. And I thought I'll need my IT guy. And of course, I took support. But I took a lot of help of AI. And I used Gamma. I used Tome. These are 2 AI free, absolutely free versions and tools, which I used those to create this presentation. Yeah. Yes.
Wonderful, ma'am. I'll just start with the first question, ma'am.
Sure.
So the teachers have requested for more information on the Power Skill program.
Sure.
And how many days in a week should be allocated for it, and which grades should it specifically target?
Sure. So number one, of course, you can share my email ID. I'm absolutely open to that. And I will take it from there. But at Fazlani, I felt we started it with grade 11. So the whole Power Skills program, which has been designed by me, has been, it starts off in July because our academic year starts in July. And we ended by around April 30th is my last Power Skill. And after which, of course, the apprenticeship program gets into during the summertime, and the showcase where they come and present in front of the school heads, school trustees, their parents, corporate heads. We had MDs come flying down from Delhi, and they had a comment that these presentations don't look school-led presentations. They look like an MBA student. An MBA student has done this. So I have started it with 11th and 12th, but we can definitely start it with the IGCSE. We can definitely open it up to 9 and 10th as well. There are certain skills which could be even brought into middle school years. So we just need to plan it beautifully. That's it. Yeah.
And the second question that, it's a wonderful question from a principal. Would AI lead to hindered natural ability to frame own thoughts?
110%. I would agree. ChatGPT is the biggest example. And, to a certain point, they're taking help from ChatGPT. I'm very open to that. When our essays, especially in English general paper, because I used to teach that paper, they used to be ready. The essay prompt would be put into ChatGPT, and there was a ready 700 essay, and that would be submitted. Now, they would obviously write it down. So it becomes very difficult for a teacher to gauge, but of course we are teachers, we understand the ChatGPT language. So it is hindering, but I think that's where the awareness program has to come in. We need to start the awareness program as early as grade 5, grade 6. We show them, all the pluses of being AI, we are lucky to have AI, but what are the negatives also? I think that's very important. So I think we could control it with a lot of awareness sessions. And I think some of the ideas I gave in when for students, what we could do, for teachers, what we could do. So definitely, yeah.
Wonderful, ma'am. I think quite a related question to the previous one. If there are 3 ways to counter the negative impact of technology, what would you list them as?
3, if you could just repeat that, I'm sorry, I lost it.
I would do that. If there are 3 ways to counter the negative impact of technology, what would you list them as?
I think the easy availability of it is so easily available. That is the first one, which definitely is something which comes in the way, and it impacts even like social media, they are all around and it's so easily available. I wish there was some way we could sort of cut that down, Priyanka. That is the biggest one which comes to me, that I wish there was some locking system and we would not have to sort of have it so open to them. Second for me is that even today I find teachers, our educators, all of us, we are aware of AI and what AI is doing, and Elon Musk has started this amazing secretary which is coming out, and it costs less than, I think, even a car, and it's going to be an assistant to everyone. I think a lot of teachers are aware, but a lot of teachers are not aware. That is something, I think, awareness with the school heads, trustees, a little bit of resources, through training. That is one thing which we definitely need to do. Third is, some of the schools don't have, the right resources even for helping students be aware of everything related to AI. They would say, oh, you're telling us about all these, tools, but how do we teach? We do not have enough resources for an iPad, or we don't agree to, students bringing in the laptops. Yes, we too allow laptops only in grade 11 and 12. We call it bring your own device, BYOD is something, but only in 11th and 12th. So what do? We have trolleys, we have iPads. But yes, our school does have the resources, but there are a lot of schools who don't. So these are the three, which definitely come in the way all the time, especially with AI really evolving. Yeah.
I think, ma'am, you have beautifully summed it up, that there is technology and it is up to the teachers to guide the students on whether it can be a help or a hindrance. I think that beautifully sums it up, ma'am. Some other questions are there, but unfortunately, ma'am, we have run out of time. And I cannot thank you enough, ma'am, because a topic that resonates in today's day and age, you have taken it up with so much of sensitivity. Thank you so very much. And you've touched upon how to foster resilience and how to make power skills the way forward in the days ahead. I think you basically spoke about how we all can future proof education. So can't thank you enough, ma'am. And we would definitely like to have a follow-up session if time permits in the future, because this is such a vast topic that 20 minutes would be like touching the tip of an iceberg. But nonetheless, at least you have planted those seeds of thought that we can take forward from here thereon. A lot of appreciation comments are coming in and pouring in, ma'am, and lots of love reactions. I hope you can see them.
Yes.
A lot of thumbs up and hearts are being,
Thank you.
it's being coming your way, ma'am. So again, thank you, ma'am. And thank you everyone for encouraging us, for participating in these discussions week after week. And we hope to make a small change towards the positive way in which education should be diverted. So thank you everyone for joining in on a Monday evening. Thank you, ma'am, once again. We'll see you for one more webinar next week. Thank you, ma'am.
Definitely. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.